Hi, guys. This is Tiffany, and I'm your host for the Loyal Girl podcast. So, this is our first episode. I'm really excited. I really wanted to do a really fun kind of first episode, kind of fill out kind of the topics that I want to talk about. But this will be a variety of different topics from mental health to setting boundaries to communication, just a wide variety of things. But I wanted to start by giving some background on myself and why I really wanted to start this podcast. So, I grew up in Laurel, Maryland. I went to Florida State University. I played soccer there for 4.5, 5 years. We'll just say five. We'll just say five. I took a medical red shirt, so I got extended a little bit. I After college, I went to the U.S. League, the U.S. Soccer League here in the U.S. Pro League. For 10 years, I played pro soccer. I traveled all over the world, kicking a ball. So that was something that was, really unique and something that I really, take pride in. So fast forward to today, I am just getting off a hiatus from soccer. I played last year for a semi-pro team, which was really great. It was my first time in a few years, playing on a team. So that was really great for me. Now I also, as some of you know, got back into track and field. So I haven't done track since I was in high school, and it was really something that I wanted to go further than what I did go in high school. So now I'm pursuing that as well. Um, I'm definitely in the first, or I'm sorry, the last years of playing. It's the last dance for me. At least in the next few years is the last dance for me. But yeah, I'm really proud of the career that I've built, and now I just want to share some of the knowledge that I've learned over the years. So you're probably thinking, what is a loyal girl? What does she mean by that? I'm sure there's a lot of different definitions of what a loyal girl is. But to me, a loyal girl is someone who usually puts other people before themselves, is a giver, someone who really prides themselves on being loyal to other people. And now you're probably like, well, that's not a bad thing. Like those sound like pretty good things to pretty good qualities. And you're right, like they are really good qualities to have. But what I want to talk about is when it goes overboard and it becomes detrimental to you. So I'll give an example. One-sided relationships, whether that's friendships, family relationships, any type of like close relationship that you have with someone. If you're giving and giving and giving years and years and years and years, that's really going to take a toll on you. I know it did on me. So I'm speaking from experience. It can take a toll on you. So my goal is to kind of give some tips and some ways to kind of stand your ground and make sure that you can still be a loyal person or a loyal girl, so to speak, without losing yourself. So the first one is knowing the first kind of point. I'm sorry, take that back. First kind of point I wanted to kind of touch on is knowing yourself and who you are and what you want to do and who you want to be. So for me, I was always someone who I'm a gift giver. So anyone who knows me knows I'm a gift giver. Um, when it's someone's birthday, I love the feeling of like surprising someone. And that's like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're in this one-sided situation where you're always the one giving and giving just because you're a giver, that's not first of all, it's not gonna benefit you and it's not gonna help you grow at all. You probably will get frustrated with the relationship. So yeah, so that's knowing who you are and what you want to do is something that I've had to learn over the years. That it's okay to give, but it's also okay to give some of that, like love and joy and care that I give to other people into myself. It's perfectly normal to put that back into yourself as well. So the second thing is communication. Now this is something that I have really, really struggled with. I'm not the best communicator. Not so long ago, I would block people if they made me mad or if they did something that I didn't like. And these were close relationships. These weren't just like random people. Um, and I realized that it had gotten to the point where we weren't aligned and we shouldn't have been close friends, relationships, whatever, situation you want to say. We shouldn't have been that close to begin with. And two, I wasn't even communicating what my expectations were of them. Um, and I will say there are certain things that are just basic, you know, human decency thing that you shouldn't have to explain to people. But there are also times where, you fall short of understanding people and their situations too. So that's kind of what made me look and say, okay, there are certain things that I don't need to explain why I'm not talking to you or why I'm cutting you off. But there are other situations where, these relationships can be mended and fixed um, through communication. So that's something we will really talk about in this podcast because I am not the best communicator. But yeah, I think a lot of people could probably relate to that. So the third thing is boundaries. So this is another thing. This is probably something I've struggled with more than communication. So what happens when someone violates your boundaries? What do you do? That's a tough question, right? Like, what do you do when you communicate your boundaries and someone just blatantly crosses, like, just disregards your boundaries? Well, my kind of solution was just to block you. And for me, sometimes that there aren't situations where you can just block people. So we'll get into this in the next episode that I want to talk about. But example, teammates. It's not like, especially in college, you can't just block your teammate. You have to see them every day, and you're supposed to be building a relationship with them on and off the field so that you can hopefully win championships and accomplish, all these great things that you wanted to accomplish on the field. So it's, those situations where you can't just block someone and just move on. So for me, I think it goes back to the knowing who you are, um, knowing what you want, and how to communicate those boundaries. So if someone close to you is completely disregarding your boundaries, communicate with them. And at the very least, if you communicate with them and they still don't get it, then you have to do what you have to do. That's just, the joys of life, I guess you can say. But you've done, excuse me, but you've done your part. So that's what I really had to learn, was to at least give someone an opportunity to mend the relationship. So that is all for now. I really hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Loyal Girl podcast. And this will be a monthly thing. I will definitely get on monthly and we will share some topics that I've come up with. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about or you want me to share, you can definitely put it in the comments. You can message me, things that you want to discuss. I'm definitely open to that. But I just want this to be a space where, people with this kind of personality trait, which is, it's like I said, it's a great personality trait. It's just sometimes, people can take advantage of your kindness. So that is something that we'll be talking about throughout the episodes, the seasons, hopefully long seasons to come. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next month.